They posted her face everywhere. Missing. Gone. Possibly in danger. And I shared it like everyone else. But I was lying. Because she had been in my apartment days before. I can't go back, she said. And the truth was, I knew exactly why she left. I remember staring at my phone that morning, scrolling past the same post over and over. Chloe Anderson. Missing in Denver. Last seen 2 nights ago. If you have any information, contact authorities. My thumb hovered over the share button longer than it should have. I told myself I was helping. That this is what everyone does when someone goes missing. So I shared it. Even added a comment. Praying she's safe. The second I hit post, my chest tightened. Because 3 nights before that, she was standing outside my door. It was late. I had just shut my laptop after finishing a design project, thinking about going to bed, when I heard knocking. Not normal knocking. It was fast, uneven, like whoever was outside didn't care how loud it got. I almost ignored it. Then it came again. Louder. I walked to the door and checked the peephole. The second I saw her, I unlocked it. Chloe? What are you doing here? She didn't answer. She pushed past me the moment I opened the door, like she was trying to get inside before something could follow her. Then she turned, locked the door, slid the deadbolt, and checked it twice. That's when I knew something wasn't right. Not just stress. Not one of her usual emotional spirals. Something else. Chloe, I said, slower this time. What's going on? She leaned against the door, breathing hard, eyes darting toward the hallway like she expected someone to knock again. I need to stay here, she said quietly. Just a few days. I frowned. Okay, why? She shook her head. I'll explain later. You showed up at midnight looking like this and you're saying later? She looked at me then. Really looked at me. And there was something in her expression I hadn't seen before. Fear. Real fear. Please, Emma, she said. Don't tell anyone I'm here. That was the moment everything shifted. Because Chloe didn't ask for things like that. She was dramatic, sure, but not secretive. Not like this. I try to keep my voice calm. Are you in trouble? She hesitated. Just for a second. Then shook her head. No. I need space. I didn't believe that. Is someone looking for you? She didn't answer. Did someone hurt you? Her head snapped up immediately. No. He's not like that. The way she said it made my stomach drop. Not like that. So there is a he, I said carefully. She looked away. And that was confirmation enough. I crossed my arms, trying to keep control of the situation. Chloe, you can't just show up here, refuse to explain anything, and expect me not to ask questions. I'm not asking you to not ask, she said, voice tighter now. I'm asking you to not tell anyone I'm here. That depends on what's going on. She stepped closer. Emma, please. That word again. Please. And suddenly I was back to us being kids, her asking me to cover for her when she got in trouble, me always being the one who said yes. I exhaled slowly. How long? A few days. That's it? Yes. No one can know? She shook her head. No one. I studied her for a few seconds. She looked exhausted. Pale. Like she hadn't slept properly in days. And whatever she was running from, she didn't look like someone making it up. Okay, I said finally. Her shoulders dropped slightly, like she had been holding tension this whole time. But Chloe, I added, if something is actually wrong, I need to know. I know, she said quietly. She didn't tell me anything else that night. I set her up on the couch with a blanket. She didn't even try to get comfortable. Just sat there, staring at the door. At one point, I said, you can go to sleep. You're safe here. She nodded, but I could tell she didn't believe it. I went in my room, but I didn't really sleep. Sometime around 2 in the morning, I heard movement. Soft footsteps in the living room. Then the sound of the door lock being checked again. I stayed still, listening. A few minutes later, I heard her phone buzz. Silence. Then another buzz. And another. She didn't answer. By morning, she looked worse. I made coffee and handed her a mug. You should probably eat something too. I'm fine. You're not. She ignored that. Her phone was sitting on the table. Face down. Powered off. You turned it off? I asked. She nodded. Your parents are going to freak out. I know. And you're just okay with that? Her jaw tightened. It's better this way. Better for who? I didn't say it out loud. Instead, I asked, does this have something to do with him? She didn't look at me. I said, I'll explain later. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting right now. That shut me up. The rest of the day felt off. She barely moved from the couch. Didn't turn on the TV. Didn't scroll her phone. Just sat there like she was waiting. I tried to work, but I couldn't focus. Every few minutes, I'd glance at her. At one point, I asked, do you want me to call in sick for you or something? Your job. I already handled it. How? She hesitated. I said I had a family emergency. That part made sense. Everything else didn't. That night, I asked again. Chloe, who is he? She stayed quiet for a long time. Then finally said, his name is Lucas. Lucas what? She shook her head. It doesn't matter. It does if you're hiding from him. I'm not hiding from him, she snapped, then immediately softened. I just need distance. That sounds like hiding. She didn't argue with that. Where is he? I asked. Not here. That's not specific. Salt Lake City. That caught my attention. You were seeing someone in another state? She nodded. For how long? Almost a year. A year. And I had no idea. You tell me everything, I said. I know. Then why didn't you tell me about him? She stared down at her hands. Because it wasn't supposed to turn into this. Into what? She didn't answer. I leaned forward. Chloe, if he's not hurting you, then what are you afraid of? She looked up at me, and for a second, I thought she was going to finally say it. Instead, she just said, I just need a few days, Emma. That's it. And I said yes. That's the part that keeps replaying in my head. Because I didn't know what I was agreeing to. I thought I was giving her space. I didn't realize I was stepping into something that would follow me long after she was gone. The second day was when it stopped feeling temporary. At first, I kept telling myself it was exactly what she said. A few days. She needed space. She'd calm down, explain everything, then go home and deal with whatever this was. But by the time the second morning came, I could tell this wasn't something small. She hadn't slept. Not really. I woke up early, walked into the living room, and she was already sitting there. Same position. Same blanket wrapped around her shoulders. Same distant look. You've been up all night? I asked. She shrugged like it didn't matter. You can take my bed, you know. I'm fine. You're not fine. She didn't respond. I made coffee again, set a cup down in front of her, then just stood there for a second, watching her. You're waiting for something, I said. That got her attention. No, I'm not. You keep looking at your phone like you're expecting it to turn on by itself. Her jaw tightened. I'm not. You are. She didn't argue again. Just picked up the mug and took a sip like that ended the conversation. It didn't. Is he trying to contact you? Silence. Chloe. She exhaled slowly. I turned my phone off for a reason. That doesn't answer the question. It should. It didn't. It just made everything feel worse. I leaned against the counter. You said he's not like that. Not dangerous. He's not. Then why does it feel like you're hiding from him? She rubbed her forehead like I was exhausting her. I'm not hiding. I just needed to get away before things got worse. Worse how? She didn't answer. Again. That was starting to become a pattern. I pushed a little harder. Is he controlling? No. Jealous. A pause. Not like that. What does that even mean? She finally looked at me, frustration slipping through. It means it's complicated. I let out a short breath. You've said that 5 times already. Because it is. That's not helpful. She looked away again, shutting down. And that was it. That was as far as she was going to let me in. The rest of the day dragged. I tried to work, but I couldn't focus. Every time I sat down at my laptop, my brain would go right back to her sitting on my couch, staring at nothing, waiting for something she wouldn't explain. Around noon, there was a knock on the door. A normal knock this time. But Chloe still froze. Completely. Her eyes snapped to the door, her whole body going tense like someone had flipped a switch. Emma, she whispered, don't answer it. It's probably just a delivery or... Don't answer it. The way she said it made me stop. I walked closer to the door anyway, checked the peephole. Just a guy dropping off a package for the neighbor. I stepped back. It's nothing. She didn't relax right away. It took a full minute before her shoulders dropped again. That reaction stayed with me. Because that wasn't normal. Later that afternoon, I tried again. Chloe, you've been seeing this guy for a year. No one knew. Not even me. Now you're here, hiding, turning off your phone, jumping at every knock. Do you understand how this looks? She stared at the floor. I didn't plan for it to get like this. That's not an explanation. I know. Then give me one. She hesitated, then said something that didn't sit right with me. He just doesn't like losing control. I went still. Control over what? She didn't answer immediately. Over things, she said finally. Situations. Plans. People? She didn't say yes. But she didn't say no either. That was enough. Chloe, I lowered my voice. That doesn't sound okay. I know. Then why are you defending him? I'm not defending him. You just said he's not like that. Because he isn't, she snapped, then immediately softened again. He's not violent, Emma. He's not going to show up here and drag me out or something. It's not like that. Then what is it like? She pressed her lips together, struggling with something internally. It's just, if I stayed, I was going to lose myself. That line hit harder than everything else she'd said. Lose myself. Not hurt. Not in danger. But losing herself. I didn't fully understand it, but I understood enough to stop pushing for a second. Okay, I said quietly. So you left. She nodded. And he doesn't know where you are? She hesitated again. I don't think so. That answer didn't feel solid. Chloe. I said I don't think so. I let it go. But I didn't believe it. That night, things got worse. Not louder. Not more dramatic. Just heavier. She barely spoke. Barely moved. Just kept sitting there, staring at the same spot on the wall like she was replaying something in her head over and over. Around midnight, I came out of my room to get water. She was standing by the window. Not looking out. Just standing there. Chloe? She turned slightly. Yeah. You okay? Yeah. She wasn't. I stepped closer. You're scaring me a little. She gave a small, tired smile. I'm not trying to. I know. But you are. She looked back toward the window. I just need one more day. One more day for what? To figure things out. What does that mean? It means I don't know what I'm going to do yet. That was the most honest thing she'd said. And it didn't make me feel better. Are you going back? I asked. Her shoulders tensed. I don't know. You don't sound like you want to. I don't. Then don't. It's not that simple. Why not? She turned to face me fully this time. Because leaving doesn't mean it's over. That sentence stuck with me. Because it sounded like she wasn't just dealing with a relationship. It sounded like she was trying to untangle something she didn't fully understand herself. I didn't push anymore after that. There was nothing left to push. The apartment felt smaller that night. Quieter. Like something was waiting to happen. I went back to bed eventually, but I didn't sleep right. And at some point, without me realizing it, that one more day she asked for was already running out. When I woke up the next morning, the apartment felt wrong. Too quiet. Not the normal quiet where someone's just asleep in the other room. This was different. Empty. I walked out of my bedroom and immediately looked at the couch. Blanket folded. No Chloe. At first, I didn't panic. I told myself she probably stepped out. Maybe she finally decided to get coffee. Maybe she needed air. Chloe? I called out anyway. Nothing. I checked the bathroom. Empty. Kitchen. Empty. Her bag was gone. That's when something shifted in my chest. I grabbed my phone and texted her. Where are you? The message didn't deliver. Still off. I stood there for a minute, trying to make it make sense. Maybe she went home. Maybe she figured things out like she said she would. Maybe this was her way of ending it. Leaving without explaining anything. It wasn't like her, but then again, nothing about the past few days felt like her. I told myself to relax. Then my phone started ringing. Mom. I answered without thinking. Hey. Emma, Olivia said, her voice already tight. Have you talked to Chloe? My stomach dropped. No. Why? There was a pause on the other end. The kind where you can hear someone trying to stay calm. She didn't come home last night. My grip tightened around my phone. What do you mean? She told her parents she had a late shift, but she never showed up for work either. Her phone is off. No one's heard from her. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. Because I knew exactly where she had been. Emma, my mom pressed. If you know anything. I don't, I said quickly. Too quickly. Silence. Then softer, okay? Just, let me know if you hear from her. Yeah, I said. Of course. We hung up. And I just stood there in my kitchen, staring at nothing. That was my first lie. Not a small one. Not a half-truth. A full, direct lie. Because I wasn't just someone who hadn't heard from her. I was the last person who saw her. And no one knew. The rest of the day moved fast. Too fast. Group chats started blowing up. Family, extended relatives, people I hadn't talked to in months suddenly asking if anyone had seen Chloe. Photos started circulating. Please share. Missing since last night. Last seen in Denver. I saw one post from Mia Miller, her friend. This isn't like her. If anyone knows anything, please come forward. That line stuck. Because I did know something. I just wasn't saying it. By afternoon, things escalated. Daniel Anderson started organizing search groups. I saw photos of him standing in a parking lot with people, handing out printed flyers with Chloe's face on them. Amelia looked different. I didn't see her in person yet, but someone posted a picture of her sitting in their living room, holding Chloe's jacket like it was the only thing keeping her together. And I couldn't breathe for a second. Because I knew Chloe wasn't lost. She wasn't out there somewhere with no help. She had been safe. She had been with me. And I said nothing. I kept refreshing my messages. Still nothing from her. By evening, I got another call. This time from Daniel. I hesitated before answering. Hi, Uncle Dan. His voice was steady, but I could hear something underneath it. Something strained. Emma, hey. I just wanted to check. You haven't heard from Chloe, right? I swallowed. No. Another lie. A pause. Then, okay. If you do, anything at all, you call me immediately. All right? Of course. We're starting to get really worried. I closed my eyes for a second. I know. After I hung up, I sat down on the couch. The same spot Chloe had been sitting in for 2 days. And it hit me. This wasn't just her taking space anymore. This was something else. Because now people were looking for her. Actively. And I was sitting on information that could change everything. I told myself she was fine. She left on her own. She asked me not to tell anyone. She's an adult. That was the logic I kept repeating. But it didn't stop the feeling in my chest. That something was off. The next morning, it got worse. Missing posters started showing up around Denver. Actual printed posters. Her face. Her name. A number to call. I saw one taped to a light pole outside my building. I stopped walking when I saw it. Just stood there, staring at it. And for a second, I felt like someone was going to come up behind me and say, "You knew." Like it was written on my face. I went back inside and locked my door. Checked it once. Then again. That was new. That was something I picked up from her. By the third day, the police got involved. Officially. I knew it was coming, but hearing it still made everything feel heavier. I got a call that afternoon. Emma Johnson? Yes. This is Detective Andrew Clark with Denver PD. We're reaching out to people close to Chloe Anderson. Do you have a few minutes to talk? My throat went dry. Yeah. Do you know when you last spoke to her? I looked around my apartment. At the couch. At the door. At everything that still felt like her. A few days before she went missing, I said. Lie. Did she seem upset? Mention anything unusual? No. Lie. Was she seeing anyone? Anyone new in her life? My chest tightened. No. Lie. Each answer felt heavier than the last. All right, he said. If anything comes to mind, even something small, please reach out. Sometimes details people think are unimportant end up being the most helpful. I will, I said. I didn't. After the call ended, I sat there in silence. I could still hear my own voice. Calm. Controlled. Lying. And the worst part was, it didn't even sound like me anymore. It sounded like someone who had already decided to keep going. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Amelia crying. Heard Daniel's voice. Saw that poster outside. And underneath all of that, I kept hearing Chloe's voice. I just need a few days. Don't tell anyone I'm here. I turned over, grabbed my phone, and checked it again. Nothing. Then, sometime past midnight, it buzzed. Unknown number. My heart jumped. I opened the message. I'm okay. Don't tell them. No name. No explanation. But I knew exactly who it was. And instead of feeling relief, I felt something else. Because now it wasn't just a secret anymore. Now it was a choice. And I had just been told to keep lying. I didn't reply to the message right away. I just stared at it. I'm okay. Don't tell them. 2 sentences. That was all I got after days of silence, after watching her parents fall apart, after lying to a detective. And somehow it made everything worse. Because now I knew she was alive. But I still didn't know if she was actually safe. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I typed, then deleted. Typed again. Where are you? I didn't send it. Because I already knew what the answer would be. Nothing. Or something just as vague. So I locked my phone and set it down. And said nothing. Again. The next few days blurred together. The search kept going. More people got involved. More posts, more flyers, more calls. And every time someone said, "We just want her home safe," I felt that same weight settle in my chest. Because she could have been home. At any point. She just chose not to be. And I chose not to say anything. Amelia stopped going to work. My mom told me that in a quiet voice one afternoon, like saying it too loud would make it worse. She's barely eating, she said. She just sits there, waiting. I didn't know what to say to that. So I said nothing. Daniel kept pushing. Organizing searches. Talking to neighbors. Calling people over and over. Trying to do something. Anything. And I sat in my apartment, holding a secret that could have ended all of it. I kept rereading the message. I'm okay. Don't tell them. Okay, according to who? That question wouldn't leave me alone. Because okay didn't explain the fear in her eyes that night. It didn't explain the way she checked the locks. It didn't explain why she wouldn't say his full name. Or why she looked like she hadn't slept in days. If she was really okay, why did she look like that? A week passed. Then another. And slowly, something started changing inside me. At first, it was guilt. Then doubt. Then something heavier. Because the longer I stayed quiet, the more it felt like I wasn't protecting her anymore. I was protecting the situation she ran into. And I didn't even understand it. I started thinking about Lucas. About what little she told me. He doesn't like losing control. That line kept replaying in my head. What did that actually mean? Control over what? Her time? Her decisions? Her life? And if she left, would he just let that go? I didn't know. And that was the part that scared me. Not knowing. Because if I didn't understand what she was dealing with, how could I know if staying silent was the right thing? Then, almost a month after she disappeared, everything stopped. Just like that. My mom called me that morning. Her voice sounded different this time. Not panicked. Not broken. Relieved. Emma, she's back. I sat up. What? Chloe. She came home. I didn't speak for a second. How? I asked. She just walked in. Said she needed time away. That was it. No details. No explanation. No answers. Just I needed time. And somehow, everyone accepted it. Because she was alive. Because she was standing right there. Because after weeks of not knowing, anything was better than nothing. The search stopped. The posts slowed down. The flyers started disappearing. And just like that, everything went back to normal. Except it didn't. Because I still knew what happened before she disappeared. And I still had questions she never answered. A few days later, I saw her. We met in a grocery store parking lot in Denver. She looked better. Healthier. Like she had slept. Like whatever weight she carried that night wasn't crushing her the same way anymore. But something still felt off. We sat in my car. Silence for a few seconds. Then I said it. What actually happened? She looked out the window. I told you. I just needed space. I let out a quiet breath. Chloe, you had everyone thinking you were dead. I didn't ask them to assume that. You turned off your phone. You disappeared. I needed to. At that cost. She didn't answer right away. Then she said something that hit harder than I expected. I trusted you. I turned to her. What? I trusted you not to tell anyone I was with you. My chest tightened. Because she wasn't wrong. I kept her secret. Even when it started hurting people. Even when it stopped making sense. Even when I wasn't sure if I was helping her or helping something worse stay hidden. I kept it, I said quietly. I know, she replied. That was it. No thank you. No apology. Just acknowledgement. And somehow, that made it heavier. I looked at her. Are you going back to him? Her expression changed slightly. I don't know. You left for a reason. I know. Then don't go back. It's not that simple. That again. It never is with you, I said before I could stop myself. She flinched slightly. And I immediately regretted it. I don't understand, I added. You don't have to. I do if you're going to ask me to keep secrets like that. She looked at me then. Really looked at me. And for a second, I thought she was going to finally explain everything. Instead, she just said, I'm handling it. Handling it. The same way she handled disappearing for weeks. The same way she handled whatever made her show up at my door in the first place. Quietly. Alone. Without letting anyone in. I leaned back in my seat. And that's when I realized something. This wasn't over. Not really. Because whatever she ran from, she hadn't actually faced it. She just stepped away from it. And now she was back. Sitting across from me like everything was fine. Like the past month didn't happen. Like I didn't carry it with me the entire time. We didn't talk much after that. The conversation just faded. And when she got out of the car, there was this distance between us that hadn't been there before. Not anger. Not resentment. Just distance. Like we both knew something had shifted. And it wasn't going back. We still see each other sometimes. Family gatherings. Holidays. She acts normal. Everyone does. But every once in a while, I catch her checking her phone the same way she did in my apartment. Quick. Subtle. Like she's still waiting for something. Or someone. And I still think about that message. I'm okay. Don't tell them. I kept that promise. Even when it hurt people. Even when I wasn't sure it was the right thing. And I still don't know if it was. Because maybe I protected her. Or maybe I just helped her avoid something she should have faced. And the worst part? If she asked me again, I don't know if I'd do anything differently. So I keep going back to the same question. If someone you love asks you to keep a secret and keeping it ends up hurting everyone else, do you protect them? Or do you tell the truth anyway?